Oh. This is gonna make me cry. It's about the Oslings. Oh, adorable. Wow. Oh, so sweet. I haven't even opened it yet, but I suspect that it's... So she made this. Wow. Oh my goodness. She made me a sweater. Hand knitted. And it's very soft. Oh my goodness. I can't, that is gorgeous. I don't even know how someone would actually be able to make something like that. I love the color. It's like cashmere, silk, mohair, 1% metallic. And it looks like it will fit perfectly. Thank you very much. That was very sweet of the Oz Kittens and you to make. Wow. I will wear it on the camera sometime, but not when there are scampy kittens around that trying to find me. I can't believe, I know that must have taken, I can't even imagine how long that must have taken you to do. Wow. It is soft like kittens. And there's more. This is for Sesame Street kittens. Oh, so cute. I don't know if you made these or not, but look how cute they are. Look, Oscar's gonna get his right away. So cute. Just a few weeks. That's a long time. Well, thank you very much. That was very thoughtful. Oh, look how much. Look, they like them. Here, take your pose with your. Oh, so cute. Snuffy's gonna keep all of them. Look. And Oscar's gonna keep the tissue paper. Hi, Clementine. Those are adorable. Adorable. Good, Clementine. I can need a picture of Snuffy and Clementine together. Look how cute. Okay. Sleeping on this side, awake on this side. What do you think, Miss Abby? Oh, Miss Abby. You're supposed to be resting because you just had surgery. And there's more. I'm going to leave these in the package so that no one absconds with them. Well, these are for Eve's kittens. Little mice. Darkin seems to know how many kittens Eve is going to have, so we'll see. We'll see if she's right. Thank you very much. That was very thoughtful and a lot of work, and that was an adorable story. It totally made me all emotional. So, thank you. So we will have some things to put in our tiny suitcases, won't we, Mr. Oscars? Oh, Mr. Oscar. I'm on a bed of kitten pillows. Where are you going? Oscar. Under the heater. Where are you going? Where are you going, huh? Oh. Nice flip, Super Grover. He's always trying to go. Where are you trying to go? Someone's wound up. What you doing to him? Oh no! No one with a recent spay gets to play with it. No one with a recent spay scar gets to be jumping. No. You would get in big trouble with Dr. Ferguson's boss or Dr. Henderson. You get in big trouble. Hi, Clementine. Hi, you drop guys. Oh, I got some curry. Got some curry. Oh, Oscars. Oh. Oh, you're so cute. Look at you. So much purring. Where am I going to get all my purring once these guys go? Eve does some good purring, but nobody quite purrs like these guys. Nobody purrs as much as you do. Two more days, and then you're leaving me. Then you're gonna go have the best life ever without me. No, those are my earrings. Those are my earrings. Help being attacked by kittens. Excuse me. What about we didn't not just talk about that the kittens with stay incisions. Don't run around and attack people. Oh! That was a good tackle from Oscar. Hi, Super Grover. I need a picture of your special pic. Look at me, look at me, not my earrings. They're very interested in my earrings. Aren't you? Oh no! You got fluff all over you. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, Super Grover. I wonder if I can make a tissue paper burrito. Super Grover tissue paper burrito. Oh, you're so handsome. You have a good... No, don't distract your brother. Wait, I'm just trying to take one picture. Just one. No. Oh, no. Just one. That's good. Okay. Well, no, it's not good. I just looked at it. Look at me. Look at me. That one's okay. Super Grover is the least proficient at working his angles. Even though he has such adorable angles to work. Where's Abby? What do you mean? What do you mean? I think Abby has a white stripe on her nose. So it's hard to say. Oh, did we suddenly? Oh, Oscar's about to get someone. Oh, he got distracted. Oh, Super Grover in his tissue paper burrito. Hi, Mr. Oscars. Oh. Do you want to get in there with your brother? Now give him a hug. Give him a hug like a good brother. A hug, a hug. Not a hug with biting. Look. Excuse me. What's this? What's this? Oh. Oscar and Super Grover love each other so much. Don't you? You love your brother so much. Go to sleep. So I can take your photo. No, don't look at my earrings. Now, go to sleep. Very ferocious. You're supposed to be resting. You're supposed to be resting. No, what's happening? No! That was quite the earring attack. Oh, looking so handsome now. You're supposed to be resting. You too. All three Facebook pages are added to the list, the Sesame Street Kittens list, on Tiny Kittens. Snuffy and Clementine do have a page. Wow, that was amazing. Oh no, poor Super Grover. Poor Super Grover. Just sitting here minding your own business in your tissue paper burrito. If you go to Tiny Kittens, and scroll down, I think it's 4 posts to the one about this, the one with them lined up in order of height. It's maybe 5 posts back, 1, 2, 3, 4 posts, something like that. It says we have 2 Facebook pages already. Now add Snuffy and Clementine to this list. Click that link. They're all 3 on there now. Oh, look, you're being adorable again. It's a little harder for Super Grover to work his angles. Yeah. are you leaving your tissue paper nest? How about this kitten? Oh, Clementine. So much purring. You're pretty cute. No, that's not toys for kittens. This is toys for kittens. Like, no. These new lamps have like dangly pull cords, which are very exciting for kittens. What are you doing? Oh, you. There you go. You're so cute. What? What? You're so cute. Oh, the kitten's named in order in the picture. Okay, so it is, oh, the kittens are helping me find the picture. Or maybe they're not helping me. Okay, it is Super Grover on the shortest one is Super Grover, and then it's Abby, and then Clementine, and then Mr. Oscar, and then Mr. Snuffy. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? No. Oh, you're so big. You're so hefty. You're just gigantic. Where are you going? Oh, that's funny. Mr. Oscar. I see Mark is being scampy today. Oh, that's funny. It's not, today is not, I'm gonna have to share that with the world. My new litter, there's a new litter of kittens coming in that Mark posted at Tiny Kittens Cat Pack. Oh, so funny. I guess he's have some sort of flea allergy. We're trying to we're trying to we've tested some of the ferals. We've tested some of the ferals for feline leukemia and they've come back negative. And we did keep, I told you we kept 2. The one we think is not pregnant, which is good. So she is going to get spayed and returned because she'll be much happier than she is at Lapse. She's definitely, she's gotten more stressed and kind of aggressive as the longer she's been there. So she's been there maybe 5 days now. And so they've checked her a couple times and don't think she is pregnant. So she is going to go for a spay. But she does have upper respiratory infections. So we were just talking about whether we could do a feline upper respiratory panel to see what it is, and then we can track how quickly it spreads and how extensively it spreads within the colony. I think that would be interesting to know. And if we know what it is, well, it will be interesting just to see the spread and the severity. And hey, excuse me, what's the rule? Kittens with stay incisions just rest and observe, right? So anyway, that's what we're. But back to the Mark's scampiness. I should have. It's funny. I should share that on Tiny Kittens and then see what happens. It's funny how there were many people. The first photo, I just noted many concerned comments that those cats should not be fostered, but need to go to a wildlife management center. PJW asked if one of the ferals tests positive for feline leukemia, what would we do? That is a good question. I think we actually have not specifically discussed that scenario, but it seems to me that it would be irresponsible to return a feline leukemia positive cat to a colony where he might spread the disease, and it would be unkind to keep a feral cat in captivity. So in those situations, we have to evaluate what the most humane and compassionate outcome is. And we know we can't return them because the disease would spread. So that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I was amazed at how many people recognized those kittens. The first kittens. Yeah, I mean, it's been definitely a learning experience working with these feral cats and actually spending so much time with them in the woods and seeing how happy they are there and how they have relationships with each other and they play and they're bonded. And then seeing like the Renara, the little one we have at Laps that we've had for a couple of days, just seeing how unhappy and stressed and scared she is. And she's all alone, and and she's young. She's like probably 6 months old, 6 to 9 months probably, which they say they say 12 weeks is really the cutoff for being able to socialize them. So to me, it would be unkind to keep Renara any longer than we had to, because her quality of life is not good at Laps. Even though she's getting food and she's getting medical care and all of that, and she's safe, her quality of life is just not, it's far lower than it was before we trapped her. So, but it will be far better once we spay her and then return her to her family. I think she will be so happy to be back, and I think they will be happy to have her back. But it's definitely a shift, a shift in thinking of them as like these guys to thinking of them as wild cats, because they look just like these guys, but they truly don't. There are certainly situations where feral cat, where adult feral cats have eventually come around, but all of them have taken years to do that. Semi-feral cats, it's a different story. But these are completely feral, completely wild cats. And we've been hopeful that maybe we could get some of these juvenile cats, and maybe they would be easier to socialize. And if we had the space to keep them for, if we could keep like 2 or 3 of them that are bonded together in a larger space where they would have lots of human contact over several months, potentially we could make some progress with them. But we don't have any of those things. So, and we talked about putting them in foster homes to try to socialize them. But in that case, I think it gets difficult because the research on all this has shown that they will tend to accept some interaction with their primary caregiver. So if they form some sort of bond with their foster parent and then they have to go back to the shelter to be put up for adoption, chances are it would be a big step back for them. So, what are you doing? Yeah, and we haven't actually, some of them have been dumped there. We haven't found any yet that have been, that are pets that have been dumped. They all seem to be just cats that have been trapped on another property and then, oh my goodness, and then dumped there. So, still, we haven't found any that are not completely feral. Even the ones that come within, they come closer and closer to me when I feed them. But even those, when you get them trapped and in an enclosed space, they completely panic. So far, I'm sure that there are some there that have been dumped that are somewhat socialized with people, but we have not found any yet. Yeah, so part of the problem, I'm sure, is that she's by herself, and not with, we wanted to put her actually with the pregnant cat that we are keeping, but because she has upper respiratory infection, we can't. It would be irresponsible of us to combine the two, because then the pregnant mom and the babies are exposed to whatever virus she has. Not to say they haven't been exposed already, but certainly prolonged exposure in an enclosed space would be very likely to lead to sickness. So I also I posted on Facebook about to see if anyone was potentially interested in adopting one of these cats, or 2, probably it would have to be 2 cats that were bonded, but I had lots of people who said either they wish they lived closer and would do it, but nobody locally contacted me. So if we could find potential adopters in advance that were willing to take it on, then I think we would try it out with maybe 2 younger bonded cats and see how it went, and see how long it took, and if it happened, and we could learn something there. But we don't have that, so we have to make a lot of really tough decisions based on incomplete information and limited resources, but at the end of the day, we are making a lot of progress with spades and neuters, and we are trying to do what is kindest for each individual cat. Yeah, I mean, if we did have more potential adopters, we could certainly try that. It's tough because I don't think homes with kids or other cats or dogs would be a good idea, because feral cats, when they're cornered or when they're scared or when they're stressed, are pretty ferocious. And we're asking someone to put themselves in danger, potentially someone who's not trained. So we would need to train them. We would need to, it would take a lot of time to get a human who hasn't done it before kind of up to speed, and then able to put in the time and have the patience to do it, and and we can't guarantee any sort of positive outcome. I do know there are lots of stories about feral cats that have been socialized eventually, but all of the research shows that those are special cases beyond 12 weeks. Those are special situations. So anyway, we are trying to explore as many options as possible. There are some grants that we are trying to apply for, which is part of the reason I've been cataloging everybody. Hey. Is that Snuffy? Oh, no. No, you know what? You're resting right now. Remember what we said, what we talked about? Resting. Anyway. So anywho, we've got some options. We're gonna try to get 10 more this week if we can. And I do have my tracking collar. I did get the rest of my tracking collars, so we may try that if we get some cats that we want to track. So it's quite an interesting project, I think. And if you go to tinykittens.com/cats, you can see photos of the cats. You'll see some very, very pregnant moms there, future moms. I am encouraging Clementine and Abby to rest because they have spay incisions. They got spayed yesterday, and while the boys, hey, the boys recover almost immediately, but it's nice for the girls to just take it easy for a couple days. Just take it easy for a couple days. That's all it looks like. We don't need bunny kicks to the spay incision, and not jumping, and it's a different surgery than the boys have. So I would like for them to rest. They clearly have other ideas. Saratoga's milkshake does bring all the boys to the yard. So tracking chips, so Abby has a microchip, which if you have a scanner, you can identify the microchip and then get information from it, but they don't broadcast information like such that we could actually track them if we were using them in a feral situation. For the feral cats, really the only options are like you can get GPS collars like they use to track wildlife, but they're thousands of dollars each, which is why there's only been one study on feral cat territories. I have purchased a couple of like pet tracking devices. The downside, of course, being that battery life is short and we have really no way to retrieve oh my goodness, retrieve the collars once the batteries die. But I think the information would be very valuable. See, now we're resting right now, aren't we? We're resting. But the risk of losing the tracking device and all of that is much higher, or could fall off, and that gets expensive too. But I do think it would be helpful to see like how big their territory is, etc. What are you guys doing? Tattooing is Laps tattoos every cat because it's the Canadian way of easily identifying if a cat's been spayed or neutered, and then you can use the tattoo to trace them back to their owner. So Laps has a very strict policy about tattooing. Unless they're adopted in the US, they have relaxed that policy slightly because it's not as tattooing is not done as commonly in the States. Excuse me. Thank you. So for US cats, I believe we've microchipped all of them and only tattooed some of them. There are a couple of tracking collars in development that show some promise, but we really need like 2 weeks of battery life or something like that, and the one I got has maybe 2 days worth of battery, but it of course depends on how often it has to search for a signal. And then I have different ones also that you have to be in range, they use radio frequency. So you have to be in range, but then it will tell you directionally, like which way to go, but it doesn't actually map where they go during the day. So, anywho, yeah, I thought maybe someone had made a self-powering, like a kinetic motion-powered device. That would be perfect. But nothing accessible, and it's also harder so they don't have a lot of sunshine here, so solar charging would likely not be effective. Maybe perhaps occasionally it would charge enough. But I haven't seen any. I've seen again that in development, but I haven't seen anything in production that we can get in Canada. You also need to have network access, so like a phone, like a wireless phone provider. So while in the States there are plenty of options, here there are very, very few options. All the good devices only work in the States, so that's lame. Lame. Oh, good jumping. You can jump because you don't have a spay incision. Yeah, so I'm using breakaway collars just because I don't want to put them at risk, and there's a weight limit. You know, they have to be small, so it's really, the technology is not there yet. It's getting closer, but it's really not there yet. Even the professional tracking collars that cost thousands of dollars are pretty hefty. Oh, look at you. Look at you. You're so cute. And the other challenge will be getting the collars on the cats in the trap without them escaping or removing an arm. It's a bit of a challenge. The traps are like 36 inches long, so if the cat mushes itself at the back, you really can't actually reach the cat with your arm, and you have to open the door to get your arm in. And we can't sedate them. We can't sedate any cat we suspect might be pregnant because the sedatives are harmful to the babies. It's a whole complicated thing. Way more complicated than you would think. If you watch movies. If you watch movies, it's so easy to track people. So they say 35 grams is the maximum weight and for a 10-pound cat. 35 grams, which is not very, I don't know what that is in ounces, but it's not very much. You're very cute. So, the isoasis. So council put it in, added it to the budget using reserve funds for facility management, which is good, over to this year and next year. The budget has not been approved yet, so the next step is for the budget to be approved in its entirety, and that should happen sometime in April. And so we are closer, but we're not there. We're not 100% approved yet. So, and then once we get approval, it would realistically be, I would say, at least a year and a half maybe before the project was ready for use. Eve is doing great. She is almost 9 pounds. Her baby bump is looking good. Yes, people from 12 countries have contributed to the isoasis, so thank you to all of you who have helped make that possible, and thank you to the people who have contributed to the Feral Fund. I think we've got enough now to do 50 more cats, which is amazing. Eve and an X-ray, that's a good question. I would say at least another week or two. So according to Dr. Ferguson's rough estimate, she's got 12 days to go today. And according to my estimate, she has 18 days to go. So somewhere between 12 and 18 days is when we think she'll have babies. She looks small to me, so I don't know. But I don't want to do an X-ray too early because it's hard. It's hard to see, and then you don't really get any value out of it. Like we did Dorothy's early, and that's why I thought that there might be up to 8 kittens, and there were only 6. What happened? Oh. Eve has not met the teens because she's terrified of these guys. She's not going to appreciate being around other adult cats for sure, just in her current condition. So I'm minimizing stress. So Sam Pro's asking about what's going to happen to the ferals. Well, the long-term plan is to spay and neuter as many as we can now so that the colony stops growing. And then set up a permanent feeding station to support the colony and make sure that they have food. And they currently have plenty of shelter, but if that changes, we'll see what we can do to continue to support them. And then I don't think it will be possible to prevent all kittens from being born because there are so many cats, and I'm sure we won't be able to catch all of them. So we'll have to do some sort of ongoing maintenance of the colony when new cats show up, or I don't know how it will work out. If it's over the winter, we will catalog the colony and check for cats that don't have ear tips and tattoos. We'll just have to come up with a plan, and yep, there will be new cats dumped there. Right, so I know that a lot of TNR people advocate heavily for pregnant spays because we feel that we can adopt those kittens out very easily. We don't do that. At least we try not to. There may be a situation, sometimes it's hard to tell if they're pregnant. Vets can't handle them until they're sedated, and the sedative is harmful to kittens. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that we don't. So that's one of the reasons we're trying to do the collars and identify nest locations and all that stuff, so that we can get babies quickly and potentially before they're weaned, if we have to. It's all kind of a work in progress. Yeah, and ideally we're getting them before, like it would have been ideal to start this in like December, because that's when cats are not nearly as likely to be in heat and mating. So that would have been ideal, but yeah, we're definitely going to try to trap kittens for sure. And we have rehomed two of the cats so far. Bonded siblings have gone to a barn and went through, there's a 4-week adjustment process that they need to go through to maximize the chance for success. You can't just dump them in a new location, even if it's in a barn, because research has shown that they will try to return home and that most of them won't make it. So there's you have to sort of keep them contained and feed them, and so it's not just any barn situation that will work. We need someone who's committed to this 4-week process and really understands the whole situation and all that stuff. So but our first attempt has been successful, and it took them about 3 weeks to kind of start coming out when the food arrives. So I think that's pretty good. I wouldn't want to rehome one by itself because I think that would be really hard because they have such bonded relationships. But doing a pair or a small group, I think could be successful. And ideally, we would like to reduce the number of cats in that particular area, because there are too many of them. So anyway, we have drop traps, and I have modified regular trap to be manually triggered. So when we have a targeted cat that we want to try to trap, we are good to go. And I believe Lisa E sent us a drop trap also, which was very nice of her. So we have a couple now. Very cute. Barn cats are not all feral. Some are. Some aren't. A feral cat is a cat that's been born in the wild and has never been socialized with humans. So it's essentially a wild animal. Or a cat that has been abandoned and has been living in the wild for so long that it has no longer has any sort of bond with humans. So kittens that are born in a barn and never come into contact with humans would be feral, but the mom of the kittens might be friendly because maybe she was someone's pet at one point. So it's could be either. Look at you. There. And then we will scoop the babies when we can. Kittens are wonderful therapy. Yes, it's very true. Oh, he's so sleepy. He's so sleepy. Why are your sisters sleepy? Tell your sisters to go to sleep. Tell your sisters to go to sleep. So I will be taking out some nesting boxes. Operation Jungle Moms made us a prototype nesting box that I'm going to bring out and set up, and we'll see if any cats are interested in using it, and if so, then we'll put more out there. What are you doing? You're so silly. You're just the silliest. You're so silly. What? These, yeah, PetSmart, there is a grant for TNR through PetSmart, but they started accepting applications in January, so, and they approve them until they run out of money, so we are trying to determine if there is any money left for this year. That is the only one we are eligible from PetSmart, but we are exploring all options there. Well, hi! There are a couple of other ones that we are investigating also. But PetSmart one's the biggest one that we would possibly be eligible for. Hi there. You're a bunny cat, aren't you? Thanks for CCing, bunny cat. Yeah, I don't think this qualifies as an emergency. I think there are so many feral cat colonies just like this one out there. I don't think anyone would consider this an emergency. Right, Mr. Oscar? Mr. Oscar. Why is your foot wet? Yes, we will be trapping. Why are you wet? Were you washing in water? Are you packing me? Oh, I'm being packed. Alright, I should go. I've been in here a while. Yes, we are very grateful for Ricarda and for everyone who has donated to the fund. You guys are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Saving lives. So good job. 50 more cats means probably 25 females, which, let's say there's time to have 2 more litters of 5 kittens this year. That's 10. kitten, that's 10 kittens. So just their kittens alone, that's preventing 250 unwanted kittens from being born, or from being conceived. That's probably a better way to put it. So that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant. So we really do appreciate that. All right, wrapping it up. Oh, I will post the Facebook links of the Facebook pages because I'm told the list is not available for people who don't have Facebook. I guess I will leave this for kittens. Are you trying to bear your food? Okay. Alright, time to go. Oh. You stay out of trouble in there, and you stay out of trouble. All of you stay out of trouble. Okay. Oh. All right. Howdy. No. Super Grover is performing. Oh. Oh yeah. And look, one good kitten is all we have. Where's everybody else? Oh, Snuffy.